How are you, parents? Welcome to our today's session, a session on unhappy parents brings up unhappy children. I know most of you here will start asking me, but what do you mean by that? But it's all about ourselves as parents. If the mother and the father in the house are always arguing, they are fighting, always in conflict, those things, even if you are doing it in private, in the bedroom, you'll find that at times they have to show themselves even when you come to where the children are. And this happens because you parents are in conflict. You find that you are yelling at your children, you are calling them names and shouting all the time at them. The other thing, even if you're not talking to them, as parents at times, you find that we use eyes that show that you're not happy at all. The other thing is finger pointing to these children or glaring at them. You find that as these children continue seeing these things, it affects them. And at times it heartbreaks these children so that they end up getting something we call the cardiac stress. And if this cardiac stress continues, you find that these children increases the production of cortisol hormone. And this is what will lead to your children having mood swings. And we find that all that, in most cases, will affect your children's mental and intellectual development. And that is why you find, if parents you didn't know, that is why you find that most of these children who grow up in families that have conflict all the time, they don't perform well in school or in whatever they are doing because all the time their mind is not stable. Apart from that, you find that these children also develop emotional insecurity. And due to that, some of them becomes depressed and anxious. And they'll also show a behavior whereby they are aggressive. All the time you find that your children are fighting with the others. You give them some house chores or maybe some housework to do, they don't finish. They are non-compliant. And this is because they have that emotional insecurity because you as parents, you are always in conflict. Maybe you're fighting, you're arguing. Another thing as parents you should do is anytime you have an argument, always solve it and solve it amicably. Because your children will learn from you how to solve their problems, their disagreements, and anything that they are doing. But if they did not learn from you, you find that even as they grow up and they become adults, they'll have a problem of interpersonal skills relationship. So parents, remember, you are the role models to these children. Research has even shown that some of these children who have grown up in a family where the parents separated, even them, they separate as they get into adulthood and get married. And this is because they have no where to look up to. So I'm not saying that as parents you should not separate. If the two of you as parents cannot be able to live together, before you separate, take these children to a counselor who will talk to them so that they can understand why you people separated. Because unless you do that, you also find that even these children, as they grow up, become adults and get married, they'll also have a problem of separating. As I wind up, there's something I want to remind you parents, that happy parents will always bring up happy children. So be a role model to your children so that they can also grow up being children who are successful, children happy even up to their adult life. That is all for today. Remember to like, to share, and subscribe. If you have subscribed, thumbs up.